23 cars in attendance. Race fans, it is time to meet the starting lineup for the Pinty's 100. 23rd from Picton, Ontario. The Curb Record, Strode's Barbecue, SSP Truckline Chevrolet 98, Malcolm Strawn. 22nd, he lives just off of turn number 2. In the Glenn Stiers Racing, Ohsweken Speedway, Chantarelli Chevrolet number 0, Glenn Stiers. 21st, in the O'Neill Electric, Milwaukee Tools, Wonderbread, Castrol Dodge, number 84 from Oakville, Ontario, Larry Jackson. 20th, from Lachine, Quebec, the St. Hubert, NTN, Quick Genetec Chevrolet number 18, Alex Tagliani. 19th, from Bracebridge, the Sierra Excavating, A&G, the Road Cleaners Chevrolet number 31, Daniel Bois. We have a father and son, 9th row. On the outside, starting 18th, is the son from Ganawagi, Quebec. The recap, Bully's Truck Stop Chevrolet number 92, Dexter Stacy. To his inside, his father from Ganawagi, Quebec, the K-Fiber Optic, Bully's Truck Stop Chevrolet number 66, Wallace Stacy. 16th, from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, the WeatherTech Omnifab Dodge, number 47, L.P. Dumoulin. To his inside, from St. Leonard d'Aston, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada, number 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron. 14th, from Roxton Pond, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada, number 27, Andrew Ranger. 13th, from Stayner, Ontario, the Leland Industries APC GMS RGC Sheer Metal Products Chevrolet number 9, Brandon Watson. 12th, from Hagersville, Ontario, the Transaxle Transport Sales and Service Dodge, number 36, Dave Bailey. 11th, from Ohsweken, Ontario, the Nitro 54 Variety Sitting Bull Tire Ford, number 99, Aaron Turkey. And now, race fans, your top 10. Starting on the outside of row number 5, from Hamilton, Ontario, the GSR Solo Performance Exhaust Halnor Mechanical Dodge, number 4, Trevor Monahan. Starting 9th, originally from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, the Glenn Stiers Racing Chevrolet, number 19, Stuart Friesen. Starting 8th, from St. Eustache, Quebec, the Gates Hydraulics Napa Auto Parts Dodge, number 74, Kevin Lacroix. 7th, from St. Donat de Montcalm, Quebec, the Prolon Controls Russo Metals Ford, number 1, J.P. Bergeron. Starting 6th, from St. Damas, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada, number 01, David Hebert. Starting 5th, Terrebonne, Quebec. The Assa Abloy Fast Eddie HGC Chevrolet number 3, Alex Gannett. Starting 4th from Milverton, Ontario. The APC Auto Parts Center's Federated Auto Parts Pennzoil Chevrolet number 22, Kyle Steckley. Starting 3rd from Oka, Quebec. The Avirum Home Hardware Ford number 24, Thomas Neva. And now, race fans, your front row on the outside of row number 1 from St. Thomas, Ontario. The Super Clean Castrol Edge Spark Power Dodge number 17, DJ Kennington. And on the pole from Grimsby, Ontario, the Glenn Stiers Racing FBM Delta Bingo and Gaming Center RGC Chevrolet number 20, Drayton Lapsevich. Race fans, that is the starting lineup for tonight's Pinty's 100. And now we send it trackside to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks a lot, Adam. It is amazing to have the 200th NASCAR Pinty Series event here at Ohsweken. Make some noise, dirt fans. How cool is that? Without further ado, it's time to get things rolling. We'll turn over to Travis now from Pinty's, who's going to give us those magic words.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Steady, fire, fire.
Fireworks light up the sky to commemorate race number 200 of the NASCAR Pinty Series. Greg, were you at? No, you weren't at race number 1 for some reason. Ohsweken Speedway 2007. The month was May. Bobby Allison was on hand to commemorate that. It was DJ Kennington who sat on the pole that day. He led the way, and I believe it was the very first lap. Something broke on the car in the back end, and his day was done. Don Thompson Jr. would go on to win that day. And it's been a blast ever since.
Cars roll away on the front stretch, getting ready for the second running of the Pinty's 100. Lock, stocked, and ready to go from Monday night. Fresh Stone Dirt Classic. Drayton Lapsevich, I think, has something here that he wants to prove after Monday night being so dominant in that race. Redemption would be the word.
It's a big chip right on his shoulder. Folks, grab your cell phones, get them ready, be prepared to turn on the flashlight as these drivers prepare to salute you, the race fans. Took an extra 24 hours to get here, but we appreciate your patience, and you are going to be rewarded with one whale of a show. Four-wide salute is a dirt track tradition. A beautiful field of NASCAR Pinty Series cars on hand. We had 24 on Monday night. We have 23 here tonight, and they are ready to do battle for 100 laps. Front stretch, get up on your feet. Cheer these drivers on, show off those cell phone lights. fall to the back. And we'll be ready 12 rows deep.
Three stages, same as Monday night. And no doubt, I think we'll see the same storyline we've seen in the first two dirt races. There's a progression of energy building up throughout this race. The first stage is usually pretty calm, guys feeling things out. That second stage, you can see it. You mentioned it on Monday night. They're not going faster, but it looks like they're going faster. And then we saw by that last stage on Monday, even Ken Schrader, 4 laps into that 50-lap run, it was starting to become go time for him.
And then he just stalked his prey for that entire race. It was something impressive to watch. I'm looking at DJ Kennington, that super clean number 17. He made it very clear this year is not a success unless he visits victory lane. He's running out of opportunities to do that, but the nice thing is if you're DJ Kennington, you can do it at any racetrack. How about this rookie, Thomas Neveu, in the 24, starting third? Clinton Jeffrey, what are your thoughts?
I got talking to Kyle Steckley before. We've seen this kid win everything out on the late model short tracks here in Ontario. I said, Kyle, how do you feel? He says, I feel great. I said, can you win it? He said, yes. And I said, have you ever raced on dirt? And he said, no.
What does that have to do with it? I haven't done it before, but I'm going to do it tonight. DJ Kennington on the inside. 17 years ago at Ohsweken Speedway, he was the driver at the point to lead the field to green. 200 races later, he is on the front row once again, although Trayton Lapsevich on the high side will set the pace. The Pinty's 100 about to get underway. Travis Beauregard up in the flag stand waiting to wave the green flag. Here we go with the Pinty's 100. They're off.
They thunder down into corner number 1. Lapsevich with a good run through corner number 2 and steams ahead down the back stretch ahead of DJ Kennington. David Hebert right there in behind the top 2 in that 01 machine. We've documented his prowess behind the wheel of dirt modifieds. And then you've got Thomas Neveu, who has been very impressive, a road racer who has really taken well to this dirt track.
He certainly has, rubbing with David Hebert down the backstretch. He'll try to squirt out in front of that 01 down into 3 and 4. He'll slide up the track. Is he gonna leave a lane? Almost.
Wow, they're racing hard there at the front already. Lacroix now down to the inside of Hebert. He's got Gannett right there behind him as well. I thought they were gonna go 3 wide off the corner, but the 3 car tucks back in line.
David Hebert with the nose slightly to the inside of Thomas Neveu. Kevin Lacroix definitely with the nose to the inside of Hebert. Behind them, Alex Gannett looking for racing room. JP Bergeron, he knows the outside lane is the place to be, so he's going to try to close in as close as he can to Kevin Lacroix in that 74.
On Monday night, Ken Schrader, Trayton Lapsevich, those drivers at the front, they never got their cars sideways. They kept them straight, getting into the corners, off the corners. I think the guy that's driven it the most sideways all week long has been David Hebert in that 01. Every lap, he's hanging it off corner.
Marc-Antoine Cameron goes up the banking in turn number 2. He'll lose a couple of spots out in front. Trayton Lapsevich. Half a straightaway advantage over DJ Kennington. Then he's got a gap back to Thomas Neveu in that 24 machine. As the laps continue to click away, contact between LP Dumoulin on the front stretch and the 92 with Dexter Stacy.
Another lap on the board for Trayton Lapsevich. It'll be lap 6 this time by the flag stand with DJ Kennington behind him. Good gap for the spots number 1 and 2. Just cruising along is Trayton. DJ Kennington's got lots of clear track in front, lots of clear track behind, and Neveu has done the same thing. He's gapped Hebert now, but from there on back, there's all sorts of action going on.
A little bit further back, we see Trevor Monahan doing a great job running in the top 10. Stuart Friesen right behind him in the 19 machine. Friesen has been venturing down the racetrack a little bit. He's trying to find some grip, see if there's anywhere he might be able to take advantage of this competition. Right behind them, they're 3 wide with Kyle Steckley on the inside in the 22, Andrew Ranger in the middle in the 27, and then Dave Bailey in the 36.
Steckley's been working his way through the field on that original start. He started near the back, and he has started to march his way towards the top 10 in that number 22 machine. He's to the inside of Bailey, right behind Andrew Ranger.
The nice thing, Greg, about this track and these tires, the tires aren't going to overheat, so you don't have to really worry about abusing them. They're a very hard tire, tough to get any traction. So these drivers can try things. They can go down to the inside without running the risk of burning the right front off. They can sort of have some fun and play around, but learn every lap what their car's going to do. But one driver who doesn't need to do any of that is out in front with 10 laps complete. That's Trayton Lapsevich in the 20.
You know, I was just about to say with Trayton Lapsevich, he almost looks like he's going slower than everybody else as a leader, but that's how smooth he is. The back of the pack. Oh yeah, problems for one around the 31 of Blois. And Glenn Stiers gets stopped just in time, and he'll keep things going, and it looks like we'll stay under the green flag as he gets lapped in the process.
Glenn Stiers going to lose a lap there. That's what you get for stopping for the accident. He did a nice job to avoid that, but I'm sure it doesn't feel that way at the moment as he's watching the leader drive away, the only car 1 lap down.
Stiers' car has been much quicker tonight than it was on Monday night. He looked good in the qualifying heats and really found something. I believe he was 16th quick during practice this afternoon. But he's a lap down here early on.
David Hebert trying to hold off the 74 of Kevin Lacroix as they charge down the back straightaway. Lacroix to the inside. JP Bergeron in that number 1 right behind. He looks like he wants to make it 3 wide off of turn 4.
Wow. Bergeron down to the inside of the 74 of Lacroix. As they roll through corner 1, he'll go up the banking. Lacroix running out of room. Hebert will clear them both.
I still think there's got to be some grip. There's got to be a line around the extreme bottom of the racetrack that has some grip for those left side tires, but these drivers know far more than I do, Greg, just from watching this track every Friday night like we do.
Tagliani around right in front of Blois, and he'll do the complete 360 and will stay under the green flag. He'll go a lap down.
And that was right among the race leader, Trayton Lapsevich. We're in the vicinity anyhow.
Oh, close call there as Bergeron gets tagged into the wall by Lacroix coming off of corner number 4. These 3 cars, kind of keeping an eye on them because I feel like if there's going to be something major happen, it might be amongst these 3.
Right behind them, Stuart Friesen trying to close that gap in the number 19. He's pulling along the 3 of Gannett, the 27 of Ranger, the 22 of Kyle Steckley, who continues to work that bottom groove, trying to find some magic in that 22.
He's continuing to march forward in the 22 machine as he's gotten by Bailey and Monahan. He's tucked up in behind Ranger, who's down to the inside of Gannett as they roll through corner number 3.
Ranger gonna run right along the driver's door of Alice Gannett, giving him just enough room to squeeze between Ranger and the wall. He'll clear him off at turn number 2. Kyle Steckley down below in that 22. They'll battle side by side.
I like what I saw out of Kyle Steckley in 1 and 2. He had some bite that time through the middle of the corner and off of corner 2, and he kept pace with Ranger. We haven't seen that a lot so far.
No, we certainly haven't. JP Bergeron getting a run to the inside of Kevin Lacroix. Good run down the backstretch. He draws even. He'll try to pull ahead of the 74 into turn 3. Not going to be able to do it. They'll race side by side across the stripe. Kevin Lacroix has the position by a nose. That's the battle for the 5th spot.
They continue to go door to door through corner number 2. Bergeron on the bottom, Lacroix on the outside as they speed down the backstretch. Bergeron trying to edge ahead just a little bit as they come off of 4. Close racing there, and Bergeron's going to get the spot with Friesen right behind these two.
Took him most of the race to do it, but JP Bergeron picks up a spot on Kevin Lacroix. Let's see if he's able to close in on David Hebert in the 0-1 down the backstretch. We are less than 5 laps away from the first stage break of the evening, Greg.
For some of these drivers, that's just what they need.
Big chunks of debris up in turn number 2.
I think it might be off of Dexter Stacy's car. The left front is gone. Oh, that's... Yeah, it is the left front. I thought maybe part of the hood was gone too. It was crumpled up, I noticed last time by. And some debris sitting up there on the high side of corner 2 puts us under the caution flag for the first time here in the Pinty's 100.
A little bit different flavor racing tonight. Trayton Lapcevich took off. He got into a little bit more lap traffic, I think, than he did last night this early in the event.
That played out well for Cameron and Watson as they were just about to have the leader go by them. And remember on Monday night, Cameron went to the pits on that first stage break and made some changes and marched his way back through the field. So for some of these drivers at the back, their night's not over by any means yet.
Guys, I've been listening in on the radio here to DJ Kennington on the scanner, and he's talking to Rick Verburn and saying, if I'm fast, how come not catch these guys? Rick Verburn just tell him, just stay with it. You're laying down great lap times. And DJ says, it just seems like we're so slow out here, but the times are showing different here on the clock, guys. He needs this. This may get him a shot to take a run at the 20.
And again, this will be a fairly short run to the break. Unless they decide this will be the break, but I don't know that they have done that. So going for a jog in turn number 2 to collect all that debris wisely with the safety car behind the safety worker to protect him from the oncoming traffic. Dexter Stacy going to turn up into pit lane. You know, we've really got to commend Sharpie, the race director, for allowing these drivers to race, not throwing the yellow immediately when there's a spin. Give them a chance to get going again, keep the flow of the racing moving.
That was something I think that they learned last year as officials, as well as what they could let go. And I felt like early on it was kind of, well, we got to throw a caution for everything. But yeah, you're right. I noticed that on Monday night. They kept the flow of the race. Obviously, if there was a place where it was precarious and we needed a caution, they went with it. But kudos to the NASCAR officials for the way these two events have rolled off.
That's well said. So we're seeing the lap down cars drop to the inside. Lead lap cars will start ahead of them. Double file restarts. So the 66 of Wallace Stacy, the 31 of Daniel Bois, the 98 of Malcolm Strawn, the 0 of Glenn Stiers, and the 18 of Al will drop in. The 84 of Larry Jackson's. We're getting some great looks at the crew working on Dexter Stacy's number 92. I actually don't know what they were fixing that duct tape to. I think they gave up.
If your driver's a lap down at this point, don't get discouraged, because last night we saw a lot of drivers get that lap back over the course of the race, to the point that I think we only had maybe one or...
They pretty much all got back on the lead lap, and something we're fairly used to seeing. So Trayton Lapcevich going to restart from the outside of row number 1. DJ Kennington down low. Thomas Nava in the 24 doing a great job staying up in the 3rd spot.
Come back to the restart zone down here out of corner number 4. They get on it. See the rear end of these cars kind of wiggle as they Do a little bit of wheel spin, back up to full speed. Here's David Hebert right on the back bumper of Trayton Lapsevich. He'll rip it around the outside line again and try and pull away from the pack.
DJ Kennington cut a great corner on the inside of 1 and 2. He'll get in line right behind Lapsevich. Thomas Navud drops a couple of spots on that restart. He'll try to get in line right in front of his teammate JP Bergeron as they work down into 1 and 2.
Some of the drivers trying to work their way back up to the top side, but the problem is there's already cars out there. Stuart Friesen, for example, running in that middle groove. He's got a car to his outside.
There's an important battle going on deep in the field. We're about to get to the stage break, and someone's going to get their lap back. Glenn Stiers is driving as hard as he can to battle with Daniel Bois in the 31. 3 wide off of turn number 2 for the 4th spot, and Kevin Lacroix backs out of it.
They're going 3 wide down the backstretch for that position as they race towards a stage break here momentarily. You can already feel things ratcheting up as Stiers gets the car sideways.
25th lap is complete. We'll see when the yellow flag comes out for this break. It'll come out right now, and unofficially Daniel Bois will get that free pass, but it wasn't for a lack of effort on the part of Glenn Stiers in the Zero machine.
The car's got some speed tonight for Glenn, I think. He can get himself back on the lead lap.
You know what? Even Ken Schrader said this the other night. Glenn Stiers can drive a race car. He just needs things to be right underneath it. So, Clint, I don't have my eyeballs on where you're watching from. Are you back in the pit area? And if I'm asking if he's back in the pit area, he might be in a spot where the microphone won't pick up. But yeah, it does. We sounds like we can hear the microphone on, but we can't hear Clinton speaking. But we know the camera.
Try to get in a good spot here. Give us a moment. We'll try and see if we can pick up on pit road.
Awesome to have you back there chasing down the activity as Daniel Bois gets released around the pace car. Amy Wong on the inside of turn 1 and 2 with the green flag in the air. That means pit road is open. Everybody will keep the same running position unless you go to the pits. If you go to the pits, you'll go to the back of the cars that did not pit, but you'll go to the back in the same order that you went in, if that makes sense. So Cameron going to the pits, Brandon Watson going to the pits, Aaron Turkey. You can't pass in the pits. When they come out, that's the order they'll line up in.
Then the field will come to a stop up in corner 4, and there we see the shots from back in the pit area. Moran, of course, last night, he had that rough start, went to the pit area during this stage break, and here they go under the hood. Let's watch this.
Keep that look. If they can't go yet because they're not allowed to start working. This is what they did last night. They went in under the hood. What are they working on in there?
Well, Alex Tagliani in here, just a quick look over on the right side. The Cameron crew making adjustments on the left rear of the 96. A little bit further back, the 66 of Stacy. They're changing the left rear right now behind him on the wall of Stacy car, doing some more work back there. And a few more cars down pit road. Aaron Turkey getting a right rear adjustment from Howie Scannell. And we'll see now the hood up on the 96 just to our left here at the front of pit road. So problems for Marc-Antoine Cameron, has the hood up just to Jack's left here on pit road.
This is the same thing they did. Well, I don't know if it's the same adjustments, but they had the hood up on Monday night, and when he came back on the track, he was as fast as anybody, able to make all sorts of passes. I mean, I don't know what the bolt is that he's turning on there, but that is a lot of turns.
Yeah, they're trying to make a major right front and left front adjustment here on this 96, and you're right, Adam. That is a boatload of turns they're cranking to that right front. Must be trying to get the the ride heights up or something on that 96. When I talked to Stuart Friesen yesterday, he said the nose was just locking down too much, and he would like a little bit more bounce in the car to help him with the turns. So maybe that's what they're trying to do here on the Cameron 96, guys. Now they got the left side jacked up, and they're going to continue to pour the turns to the other side.
Putting a spring rubber in there in the left rear.
And it almost looked like they were putting a spring in the left rear.
We're talking wholesale changes here.
And that is Robin McCluskey, I believe, the crew chief. Yeah, because he just cued the radio. So that's Robin McCluskey, the crew chief on that 96 machine. And they led the most laps last year. They won the championship last year. He's looking to, Bryce, is he looking to tie the record or beat the record of consecutive top 5 finishes? He's looking to tie the record, and it takes more than one season to do it.
Hood's down, the car fires back up, hood pin's going back in. Marc-Antoine Cameron getting ready to pull back out to the surface. He's the last car here on pit road in the Paille. Chevrolet 96 headed your way, guys.
Like, that crew member must look like Popeye. That was a lot of cranks.
I mean, what did he call? I just change everything. Because I think they did. They jacked it up. They were under the hood.
Clint, see, if you've got the chance, and I hate to do this to you because you're your own person, but see if you can get a word. Don't even interview him, but just ask Robin McCluskey, what on earth could they have changed that would require that many turns? So while Clinton's back there looking into that, he'll resurface at some point. What a great night for racing, Greg.
Oh, beautiful. And we weren't sure how this week was going to play out with the forecast, but today just a beautiful day, and the track surface is phenomenal considering all the rain we had yesterday. Zigger and the crew here at Ohsweken did a phenomenal job to get this thing ready, and I feel like the track tonight's a little bit racier than it was on Monday. We're seeing drivers able to do a few more things than they were on Monday.
I almost think it's because the top is more worn out, that they can go down a little bit lower. And I would like to mention, because of your heartwarming tribute to me at the start of the last race, mocking my prowess at the buffet, I went down and bought us both dinner.
You're a sweetheart.
I hope, I'm not going to say it.
Hope I choke on it.
No, because I need you to call the rest of this race. So the 96 at Camarand, I think Aaron Turkey is on the lead lap.
Should be.
So they'll have to sort out a couple things in the order. Brandon Watson, Aaron Turkey in the 99. So Cameron getting a little bit ambitious down there as he tried to get back into where he's supposed to be.
So Bois is on the lead lap now. So that would make Glenn Stiers the first car one lap down. Then Malcolm Strawn, Alex Tagliani, Dexter, and Wallace Stacy laps down. And Daniel Bois is on the lead lap at the tail end of the line.
75 laps to go here at Ohsweken Speedway. You don't know OJ, do you, Greg? Oswego John.
No.
He is a legend among race fans, and I haven't seen him in years, and I bumped into him down in the concession and had a great chat with him.
I've still never been.
Is that right, eh?
I want to.
Now
and not even necessarily for a dirt race.
No, it's an amazing facility. It's a storied facility on the other side of Lake Ontario. I was just excited to see OJ. I hadn't seen him in years. I've known him for many, many years. He had a number of compliments and one complaint about us calling Ohsweken the Big O. So there's one Big O, and it's on the other side of the lake. But I'll forgive him for that.
There's one in Montreal, too, right? Olympic Stadium.
Oh.
That's the original Big O.
Okay, there you go. It's funny who you'll bump into at the racetracks. Years will go by and you'll see them again, but this is that type of event, Greg.
Yeah.
This is the type that people want to make sure it's on their calendar. They want to come out for this one. They might not come to a regular Friday night show. They might not come to a lot of other Pinty Series races, but this is a night they want to be a part of.
Ready to get it going again with another 25-lap segment here with Trayton Lapsevich ready to set the pace in the 20, and he's set the pace of this race.
Led every lap so far. He was the Leland Lap Leader Award on Monday night's race. well on his way to doing that again here tonight. Good launch for Lapsevich and JP Bergeron as DJ Kennington drops to the bottom of the racetrack. Thomas Neville comes off the bottom. Kennington again does a great job making sure he's able to fall in line in that second spot as David Hebert. He didn't even lift that time going into 3.
He's trying things on the bottom, just trying to find anything he can. Last time through 1 and 2, he was kind of forced down there, but nonetheless was searching around. He'll tuck up in behind. Guess who? Kyle Steckley in the 22 down to the inside of Bergeron.
Kyle Steckley is on the march in the 22 machine. Kevin Lacroix is on the march in the wrong direction in that 74. He just lost a spot to Dave Bailey in the 36. So keep an eye on Lacroix, that gate-sponsored number 74. A different paint scheme for him here this week.
We should be surprised to see that 22.
Thomas Neveu just slid across the nose of the 0-1. They're still making contact in 3 and 4 down the front straightaway.
And here comes Stuart Friesen down to the inside of both of them. He threw it in there, slide job in front of both of them.
He wanted nothing to do with that action. Slides up in front, so David Hebert still down on the bottom, which is not ideal, but Friesen saw the opportunity, and it looks like he's going to capitalize on it, picking up 2 for 1 in turns 1 and 2.
Remember, Friesen and Hebert had problems in the qualifying heat that led to some hot tempers there a bit, so Friesen trying to get away from the 0-1, and Neveu right behind as well. As they continue down into corner number 3, the battle for third is a good one as well, as Steckley into the inside of Bergeron.
Kyle Steckley pitching that 22 car sideways off of turn number 4. That scrubs off a bit of speed, allows Bergeron to get around him.
Oh, that's a hard hit for Brandon Watson down in corner number 4.
I think there's 2 cars down there.
Some debris up in the middle part of corner 4, and yeah, you are right. Aaron Turkey and Brandon Watson.
That's a lot of 9s. The 99 of Aaron Turkey from here in 6 Nations. The 9 of Brandon Watson from Stayner, Ontario. Both drivers with a lot of optimism coming into this week. And Watson drops the window net, which is the universal sign for I don't need assistance, I'm okay, but my car is not. And I'm not sure, Aaron Turkey might be all right there. It's a bad night when so there's a number of hay bales around the outside of the racetrack. And let's have a look at this replay from our speed shot. Way up to the right side of your screen, Brandon Watson goes around. Oh!
So Aaron Turkey just collected in that, basically.
That's a classic. It's about a 300. He wanted to do a 360. He got through about 300 degrees of that turn and found the outside wall, unfortunately. A driver who showed a lot of finesse, a lot of skill Monday night, able to make some passes out there. Looks like this night will be ending a little bit prematurely for for Brandon Watson. The fortunate break right now is for Aaron Turkey, driver of the 99. In any other race on the NASCAR Pinty Series schedule, caution laps count. Every lap counts. But only green flag laps count in these dirt races, so Aaron Turkey is not losing laps.
Well, guys, Brandon Watson's car is all up on the wall here. Aaron Turkey's car looks like it's in pretty decent shape so far. We'll get a good look at the left front when they pull him off. But Watson's night appears to be done. The nose all taken apart and totaled up on the 9 car.
Thank you, Clinton Jeffrey, down trackside, as he is every Friday night here at Ohsweken. Aaron Turkey going to back up, and yeah, that car looks like it's okay to go. A little bit of a buckle to the hood. Pit road is open, so he'll be able to take that car to the attention of Howie Scannell and Matthew Scannell. But I don't think it needs too much love.
It almost looked as though when Watson's car went in the air, the rear end came up and Aaron kind of tucked itself under, his car tucked itself underneath Brandon Watson. He had nowhere to go, and you could see the tire tracks coming off the banking there, going right towards the wall. And Brandon Watson, I didn't see, did he get help going around?
couldn't quite see that. Let's have another look. I want to say he was a little bit lower on the racetrack. No, he wasn't. He was way up the outside. Now he's climbing from his race car. Folks, give him a round of applause, Brandon Watson. Gonna walk back to the safety vehicle, take the long ride back to the pits.
For those dirt fans not familiar with Brandon Watson, this is a young man who has been around for a long time. It's hard to believe how long he's been around for. He's won a lot of races.
He certainly has. He's won races up and down the eastern seaboard. He's competed in a lot of different series. A gifted race car driver. Great that we got him here in the NASCAR Pinty series. But tonight was not his night.
So 5 laps completed in this stage, 30 overall.
While we've got the chance, we should talk about Elliott Smith, the young flagman behind the flag stand. I believe I heard he's soon to turn 25 years old.
25? Where is he?
He walked down towards the scene of the accident.
Okay.
They go to a lot of races. Over the years, they've been to a ton of our races. They are well traveled. Elliott and his dad. So Kevin Lacroix, that last restart did not go his way. In fact, is he in the pits? Yes, he is, because he's just coming out there in turn number 3. So he was going the wrong direction, goes into the pits. Don Thompson Jr., his crew chief.
How about Bergeron up there in that 3rd position? He kind of made some moves there on that last restart, coming out of the break there.
Driving with a lot of poise.
Yeah.
And we talked to him. We had him on our pre-race show, and he had a great level of confidence to him. He really thought this could be an opportunity for him to do well. Top 5, he was realistic.
He's hanging in there right now with Kyle Steckley. Both those drivers kind of appeared on the scene in the top 5 on that last restart. Stuart Friesen's starting to work his way, and this has been Stuart in these races so far, has it not? Last year, and then again on Monday, starting a little deeper than he would want to, but he starts making his way towards the front to the point that he's a factor up towards where the leaders are.
Got to make those moves fairly early as Brandon Watson. That 9 machine being towed off the racetrack.
Who's the recipient of the free pass? Is it Glenn?
No, I did not see one. I don't know why. So I don't think Aaron was a lap down. Neither was Brandon Watson. If you're an involved car, you don't get the free pass. So. But that wouldn't apply to this situation, Greg. Who has anything for Trayton Lapsevich? Is it DJ Kennington waiting in the wings? Is it Kyle Steckley if he's able to close in? Is it Stuart Friesen in the 19? Is it someone we haven't even talked about yet?
Or is it going to be a circumstance that beats Trayton Lapsevich? That's what beat him on Monday night. It wasn't another driver. It was a circumstance that...
It was another driver.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Another driver had a circumstance.
That's true.
His problem quickly became Trayton's problem. Mike Gowdy got into the wall on the backstretch, and as he bounced off the wall, he clipped Lapsevich in the right rear. And That was all she wrote. Ken Schrader got around, and Lapsevich slid a few more spots. So far tonight, he hasn't turned a wheel wrong. Same song, different verse, Greg.
Back to the restart. 70 laps still to go here in the Pinty's 100. Lapsevich as the leader. Again on that outside line for this restart. They'll come to the restart zone here. Just out of corner number 4. And off they go. Not a wiggle from the top 2 there. Good clean starts.
They're getting better at this. Down into 1 and 2. Lapsevich up high. He'll get that big run off the corner. Kennington again. Times it so beautifully. He'll slide up in line just ahead of Kyle Steckley in the 22. So Steckley taking advantage of these restarts. Stuart Friesen trying to do the same thing up on the high side. Kicks that 19 sideways. He'll battle door to door with JP Bergeron into turn 1.
Boy, I'll tell you that. Oh, they're 4 wide through corner number 2. Bergeron has Friesen to his outside, and Friesen's going to grab that 4th position. And I was about to say, I think that 22 is quicker than DJ Kennington. He's had to back out of it a few times.
Do you ever think if a Canadian stock car could talk? Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me. Coming through. Sorry. Steckley to the inside of DJ Kennington down into turn 3. They'll race side by side. Tough move to make on the bottom, but Kyle Steckley has been practicing all of the way through the field. Whoa, trouble off of turn 4. Dave Bailey gets turned around. He is backed into the wall. We're still under green. And that was significant impact. We've got Aaron Turkey around in turn 2. We've got Daniel Boisseau up in the 2nd turn.
And there's Bois coming to a stop at the entry of the pit area.
Dave Bailey, a local standout, a dirt racer with more than 100 feature victories to his credit. He was handpicked by Randy Slack and Bob Slack and Dave Jacobs to wheel this number 36 transaxle entry. Let's have a look at the replay. It looked like he might have suffered a problem in turn 4. He was way off the pace. Truck, no, we had already backed up. They drove into the screen. I was thinking if we could see more of the corner, but we won't get that shot. Whatever happened, the car accelerated off of turn 4. Contact ensued, and that was it.
So sour end to what was a pretty good week for Dave Bailey. Ran amongst the top 10 all night on Monday, and then tonight he was starting. I noticed on that last restart, he was starting to make some progress back up towards the front, but that's going to end any shot for Dave Bailey.
Now it might not. It might not be over. A couple of cars dart down pit lane. Alex Tagliani, I believe LP Dumoulin was one. No, he's not. He's out there.
Here's another look. Yeah, I think you're right. He had some sort of issue at a 4, did he not?
It looked like he was slowed. The attitude of the car didn't look like he was accelerating off the corner, and then it got worse.
He's back out.
Fabulous. Have a look at that transaxle 36. Fiberglass bodies on these NASCAR Pinty Series cars. What's so wonderful, Greg, about these midweek shows is we draw an audience that doesn't always get to watch these races. So these are a fiberglass bodied stock car. There's really no aero advantage to be found. When they do get damage in that regard, the spoiler is mostly for show. It's not doing anything performance related. Dexter Stacy in the 92 is going to get the free pass in that recap recovery drink, number 92. We circulate under the yellow flag. So these drivers going up on the flat of the racetrack. Stuart Friesen is going up there to try to cool off those General tires. I can almost promise you JP Bergeron went up there because Stuart Friesen did.
That crossed my mind too. Well, he did it. He knows what he's doing.
So that's what these drivers will do. You go down to where there's moist clay. We already gave a trigger warning tonight. The word moist might be used a number of times because it's so relevant in the dirt racing world. But you get into where the moisture is, you can cool those tires down, get a little bit better grip for this restart.
Stack back up again. Leader on the outside for this restart, Trayton Lapsevich, as he's done since the drop of the first green flag. DJ Kennington second on the inside. There's Steckley and Friesen side by side in that second row.
Remember, Friesen was aggressively driven last year when Trayton Lapsevich took this win, so he's up there near the front. I'm sure he doesn't want to mess up anyone's points, but he wants to win a race while he's here at Ohsweken.
They're not teammates this year either.
No holds barred.
Stackley right there, I think he gave a little push to the number 17 of DJ Kennington. And Stackley's been good, even a lane down from where everyone else is running. This time not going to get the run off of corner number 4. He'll tuck back in line behind Kennington, but Stackley's had some speed in areas where others haven't.
No, that is a great way to put it, Greg. He's been able to get these runs off of turn number 2. What he needs to do is send it down into 3.
They're side by side for that second spot. It's been all Trayton Lapsevich out front, but from there on back, very entertaining. They're 3 wide off the 4th corner, and Bergeron, they got tagged a little bit there, and here goes a bear up into Ranger. Bergeron goes around.
It's a good thing those 2 cars were on the outside of Bear. He would have definitely spun out. Bergeron parked backwards up in turn number 2. He gets the car pointed in the right direction. We stay. No, he doesn't. He gets the car onto the banking and
pulls away just as the caution flag comes out.
Thank you, Greg.
Hairy moment there for Trayton Lapsevich heading into the corner, still under green in the car, sitting on that banking.
You know, and if that was on a pavement track, it would not go over very well. On a dirt track, you're kind of, a little bit more slack cut for that sort of thing, as Larry Jackson passed a few cars, and I don't know if he had pulled up to show any displeasure or not.
So the rear end of Bear's car hit the rear end of Ranger's car, who then went up and hit Bergeron's car.
That's why I said it was a good thing those 2 cars were up
right
there. Show that replay again. There's nothing more frustrating because you can't see that. A driver can't see it in the rear view mirror. And before you know it, what the heck's going on? Boom, you're loose. Didn't see that coming. JP Bergeron didn't see that coming, and he got the short end of the stick. It could have been the short end of the stick for Andrew Ranger, who has had his struggles this year. Mostly not of his doing, just mechanical gremlins. Getting caught up in that wreck with Kevin Lacroix at the start of the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières when Lacroix's brakes failed on the very first lap.
More monkey see, monkey do up there.
Yep. Now the Dave Bailey 36 doesn't look like he lost any speed out there. Malcolm Strawn in the 98 going to get that free pass in the Curb Records 98. Jim Bray, a long supporter of this series. The oldest licensed pilot in the country in Canada. And he's a historian. If you want to talk history and facts about old racing, you better have them right, because he'll correct you if you're not.
Back to 1 to go at the line. 36 laps on the board in this one. 64 still remaining in the Pinty's 100. Strong will go around the pace truck, put himself back on the lead lap, and more than likely, I can't see any reason why Trayton Lapsevich would not Go to the outside on this restart. He's done it since the drop of the first green flag. He'll do it again here. DJ Kennington on the inside. Watch Kyle Steckley, though, on this restart. And he just seems to have something, a lane down that no one else has in that 22.
So another driver sneaking into the frame we talked about earlier that we thought he'd be more of a factor in the first 2 races here is Andrew Ranger in that 27.
Yeah, they're in the 6th spot. He survived the David Hebert slide down at number 1.
The David Hebert thrill show. Drayton Lapsevich in the 20 on the outside. The restart zone is marked by those pylons and the fence on the outside of the front stretch. Stuart Friesen with a good launch, able to keep pace with Lapsevich. DJ Kennington down to his traditional inside line, but he's got Kyle Steckley right there as well. He does it again, the KG veteran able to work his way up into the outside groove. Kyle Steckley down low. Let's see what the youngster from Milverton, Ontario can do in that inside.
He'll tuck back in behind DJ Kennington right in front of Stuart Friesen. Friesen now will look low on the 22 with Ranger on his back bumper. They'll go door to door down the back stretch and into corner number 3.
Remember, Stuart Friesen has a slide job that he's used tonight that's pretty effective out there. He didn't unleash it on Kyle Steckley. He gets back in line. We're 12 laps from the midway break, our second and final break in this race, as Steckley working over the inside of DJ Kennington. He'll draw even.
Go side by side through 3 and 4 and off of corner number 4. Looks like Steckley at the line is narrowly going to have the position as they head back down to 1 and 2. Now watch Steckley on the inside line. Watch the drive he gets off of corner number 2 right there.
And you can see what he's doing. He'd drive it into the corner as hard as he could, drift up the track, and then point it down the hill and able to get that drive. It's very much what Drayton Lapsevich has done to great success.
3 wide deep in the pack right now with Bailey, Gannett, and Cameron. Close call down here on the front stretch. Everything keeps going straight, though. Now we'll see what Steckley has for Drayton Lapsevich. This is his first chance in clean air, clean track to try and see what he's got for that 20 machine.
Kyle Steckley just turned his fastest lap of the race in that 22 machine. Still not quite as quick as Drayton Lapsevich, but let's see an open track if he can find a rhythm, find a line that works for him, and close in on the race leader.
Kennington settles back down in that 3rd spot. Friesen right behind him in 4th. Ranger running the 5th position. Neveu right now in 6th, and it's Lacroix 7th. 8th is Hebert. 9th is Dumoulin. Having a pretty decent run for him on dirt. And then 10th is Trevor Monahan, also having a good run.
Absolutely. Larry Jackson quietly there in 11th. Up at the front, DJ Kennington holding off Stuart Friesen in the 19. Andrew Ranger a couple of car lengths back. Thomas Neveu finding his own bit of real estate. Deeper in the field, they're 3 wide. Dave Bailey looks to the inside of Alex Gannett. The 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron up on the high side. Bailey not able to get the power down on corner exit.
There's been a few times that 36 and 3 have come together, especially off of corner number 4, and those 3 cars all there in a pack.
Dave Bailey is starting to work the bottom groove. He got through 1 and 2 really well. 3 and 4, he pinches that car off, comes down in the bite. If you wonder what the heck Dave Bailey's doing, he's 6 lanes to the inside of those drivers. It's because that's where the tacky clay is. He's trying to learn something in that 36 machine.
And that's where he gets it done on Friday nights in the Thunderstock division. Right down around the wall on the bottom. His arch nemesis, Ryan Beagle, he likes to run on the outside and just float it around the outside line, and it makes for some great racing. So Dave Bailey just trying to find something to give him an advantage. Right now he's probably thinking, just get me by the 3.
I would like to not be looking out my windshield at this car anymore. Right behind him, a great battle between Aaron Turkey in the 99, the 31 of Daniel Bois, Drayton Lapsevich. 0.3 of a second faster than Kyle Steckley on that last lap this time. 0.2 of a second quicker, so Lapsevich in that 20. Definitely the class of the field so far in this Pinty's 100.
This time by, it looks like it'll be about a lap away from the halfway point and the next break here in the Pinty's 100. Lapsevich on cruise control with Kyle Steckley in second, and then you've got this little 3-car pocket of DJ Kennington, Stuart Friesen, and Andrew Ranger logging some laps, I would think, at this point.
You've got to think that they're doing out there is Stuart Friesen kind of stalking the back end of DJ Kennington. Dave Bailey still working the inside of the 3 of Alex Gannett. Now Friesen steps up to the outside while Kennington goes a little lower on the racetrack. And this break is a perfect time for Drayton Lapsevich, as he's not going to have to deal with any lap traffic. We should see the yellow flag displayed, and we do.
How far back in the field do you think it's going to be for someone to go into the pit area? Is anyone near the front thinking, oh, if I could just have this, I could get up there in the top maybe 4 here and compete with these guys if things get sketchy?
Well, look at Kevin Lacroix in that 74. He pitted earlier.
True. Yep.
And he's up there just knocking on the door of that top 5. 7th spot for the 74 machine, so he's got to be happy. Or does he think, I know I did it once, let's go back in and get some more adjustments. I'll drive my way up to the front.
Still another 50 laps left to settle this Pinty's 100 as we see Kevin Lacroix there. And the Gates Hydraulics machine.
So the race fans understand the amount of car control demonstrated by these drivers is hard to fathom. We interviewed Alex Tagliani this week, and he said he qualified on the pole for the Indy 500 at 230 miles per hour. He says trying to control this race car on this track is more difficult.
Yeah. That puts it all in perspective, doesn't it?
I think it does. So Amy Wong, our pit entrance official on the inside of turn 1 and 2, still with the red flag in the air with the yellow cross. Wallace Stacy on a normal yellow. The free pass doesn't go around until the 1 to go signal's being given. On a break like this, they send the free pass directly around. Now pit road is open. Amy Wong waves that green flag so the drivers and spotters know if they want to come into the pits, now is the time. Take this opportunity to take a quick break if you're watching on streaming service. We'll be right back from Ohsweken Speedway.
All right, folks, we have the winning 50-50 number for tonight. Winners take $1,960 for tonight's 50-50, so get your ticket out. $1,960 to tonight's winning number, and it is 253372. 253372. If that's your 50-50 ticket number, you've won $1,960. Ticket 253372. Make your way down, I believe, to the main entryway. They'll help you find your way to claim your prize.
Welcome back to Ohsweken Speedway. Let's take you through the running order at the completion of lap 50. Now I just hit the wrong button on my timing and scoring and lost it. Thank you, Bryce, statistician extraordinaire. Drayton Lapsevich is the race leader in the 20. 22 of Kyle Steckley is second. DJ Kennington in the 17 is third. The 19 of Stuart Friesen is fourth. Fifth is the 27 of Andrew Ranger. 6th through 10th is Thomas Neveu in the 24. 74, Kevin Lacroix. 01 of David Hebert. 47, LP Dumoulin in the 4 of Trevor Monahan. Running 11th, Larry Jackson in the 84. The 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron scored 12th. 3 of Alex Gannett. 36, Dave Bailey, and the 31 of Daniel Bois. Keep in mind, some of this order may change as drivers head into the pits, but this is how they were scored at the break. 16th is the 1 of J.P. Bergeron. 17th, Dexter Stacey in the 92. The 98 of Malcolm Strawn is 18th, and Wallace Stacey in the 66 is 19th, with Aaron Turkey 20th in the 99. All of those 20 cars are on the lead lap. 1 lap down, Glenn Stiers in the 0, and the 18 of Alex Tagliani.
I stole your fork, sorry.
Huh.
We're sitting down here waiting. Thought we'd take a quick stop to have one of these Navajo tacos. Thank you, Adam, for buying that, even though I've been mean to you tonight.
Well, in fairness, you're mean to me every night.
Guilty. But this is part of coming to the event. You know, there's been so many different vendors and displays, and the band's been playing over in the pit area both days, and we've got the fan zone and the good food. You know, if you can't make it, it's great to be able to watch online. But come and be a part of this event in the future.
You absolutely should make it a part of your schedule. The track does a great job. Clinton Jeffrey, the general manager, Glenn Stiers, the track owner, to make everyone feel welcome. And it's right down to the people that greet you when you walk in the gate. Robbie, our campground attendant, who makes sure everything is in order out there. And I'm sure it was a wild couple of days with the amount of water we had. So we're back under yellow. The break is complete. We'll stack the field up 2 by 2 by 2. And then it's 50 laps to settle it in the Pinty's 100. $25,000 to the winner.
See how these restarts play out now that we're into the final portion of the race, and it got energized quickly when we got restarted on Monday night right at this point. You would think they would wait another maybe 20 laps, but no, it really picked up right after we went green here at this point, so I expect maybe to see the same.
Here's why it picks up so quickly. Here's why the drivers can't wait. We're stacked up 2 by 2 all the way through the field. Restarts are the opportunity to pass, but they're everyone's opportunity. So everyone is up on the wheel trying to find that advantage. And at this point, this could be the last restart of the race.
Very well could be, and this is our first look at Kyle Steckley on the inside of race leader Trayton Lapsevich, and he has been good running that inside line. Let's see if he has anything for the 20 as we come back to the green flag in the Pinty's 100.
DJ Kennington giving Kyle Steckley a push down the front stretch into 1 and 2. They work around the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Steckley with the nose out front. Trayton Lapsevich draws around him in that 20 machine. Beats him down into turn 3. Kyle Steckley will slide up in line and leave Stuart Friesen in the 19 to battle with the 17 of DJ Kennington.
They'll be side by side at the flag stand for that third position, and in behind that, it's been 2 and 3 wide as well as Neveu, Lacroix, Ranger all right there, Hebert and Dumoulin. It's going to be wild here as some of these drivers say, okay, it's time. If I've got anything, I got to start making some moves.
Impressive to watch Thomas Neveu in that 24, the Aviram-sponsored machine, with no real experience in stock car racing on oval tracks. And these restarts have been very technical.
The best way I can describe his performance in these 2 days is that he's made his presence known. You know he's there, whether it was in the qualifying heats or during these races. The number 24 car has been right there amongst the top cars.
The battle deeper in the field. They're 3 wide with Larry Jackson down on the inside. Trevor Monahan looking for racing room to the outside of LP Dumoulin, and behind them, Marc-Antoine Cameron and Alex Gannett just drove deep down into turn number 3, looking for ways to get around the 84 of Larry Jackson.
Have we lost anyone as of yet? Did Daniel Bois make his way back out?
Well, Brandon Watson is
Brandon
out.
Watson, yes, correct.
Yeah, Daniel Bois is on the backstretch.
He's back there, yeah. So we're still at Brandon Watson, and that's it at this point.
And Daniel Bois drove it deep into 3, slides up into the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. He'll pull out ahead, and Cameron's going to push Daniel Bois all the way down into turn number 1. And then drive to the inside of that 31 machine.
So it's Lapsevich, Steckley, and Friesen, your top 3 now, with Kennington and Neveu, your 4th and 5th place runners. And most of the action right now outside of the top 10, with cars going 3 wide in areas.
Dexter Stacy down on the bottom in the 92. Now he's up in the middle. Dave Bailey has to check up and let him in line. Now Bailey's going to drive it deep. A little bit of contact with the 92 with Stacy. Stacy makes a little bit of contact with Bois. Malcolm Strawn saying, "This looks so much fun. I want to get in there."
A little bit of contact here, a little bit of contact there, and the caution flag will fly.
Debris in turn number 1, going to be the reason for the caution, right in the groove as Trayton Lapsevich drives around it. Everybody able to drive around it. Alex Tagliani in that 18 machine, unofficially going to get the free pass to get back on the lead lap. And if you didn't get a chance to watch Monday night's feature, Alex Tagliani on an early restart took the lead of the race. And then on an ensuing restart, spun out in turn number 2. And the night kind of went sideways from there for the driver from Lachenaie, Quebec.
And the car lost a few of its feathers. It was missing some body pieces, but still got back on the lead lap when all was said and done.
You have to be tenacious. If you're going to be successful in this series, you have to fight back. You've got to get the most out of everything you can. What's amazing is Marc-Antoine Cameron trying to set records this year with the most consecutive top 5 finishes and with the number of podium finishes. Yet he's not leading the points. Trayton Lapsevich is leading the points. One of those years, if you want to be successful in the series, you better be darn near perfect out there. Stuart Friesen going up to cool off those General tires.
Number of drivers doing that now back through the pack. David Hebert was one of those. Now he'll go right down to the bottom on the back stretch as well.
DJ Kennington, a bit of a victim of circumstance out there. He's running in the 5th spot. It's a solid run. But you can see he just hasn't pushed the issue yet.
Yeah.
It's not time to get physical. Look at that super clean 17. It is still relatively super clean.
And it was on Monday, too. He probably had, when all was said and done, the best looking car when he was down there on the podium. Because even Schrader had a few marks on that 22, and Kevin Lacroix had some bumps and some imperfections, but DJ Kennington ran a smooth, clean race. See what he's got here in the closing laps of this one.
Mike Schrafe, one finger up in the air. That means next time out of 4, we're going to go green. Alex Tagliani will be released, and he'll rejoin the tail end of the field. Trayton Lapsevich going to choose the outside of the front row. Kyle Steckley has done a great job tonight. His first ever race on dirt. He won this race on Monday night as the crew chief for Kenny Schrader. Schrader had to return home to Missouri, so Kyle Steckley, who races for the APC Auto Parts Centers in the APC Late Model Series, it's a no-brainer that he get behind the wheel of this 22 for tonight's Pinty's 100.
So they'll creep to a start here out of corner number 4. Trayton Lapsevich, your leader, to set the pace. And here they go, back at it. Here's the opportunity you talked about, Adam, for drivers to make some moves when they're doubled up.
Stuart Friesen goes up the racetrack, opens the bottom for Thomas Neveu. They'll go 3 wide at the front. Kyle Steckley not able to contend with the 20 of Lapsevich. Look at Kevin Lacroix all the way to the inside in that 74.
They make it 4 wide off the 4th corner. Ranger runs out of room. Friesen has a handful there. Here comes Lacroix down on the bottom. Hebert into the mix.
Oh, contact through turn 2. David Hebert had 16 tires to make it around that corner.
Wow, Stuart Friesen and Neveu both got tangled up there and lost a ton of position, so they've dropped through the field now.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out for them. Meanwhile, at the front, Kyle Steckley all but pushing Trayton Lapsevich as they drive down the back straightaway. The 20 and the 22 with a gap on DJ Kennington, who's moved up to 3rd. How about Trevor Monahan in the 4, the 84 of Larry Jackson? They're running in the 6th and 7th spots.
And you got to think Dumoulin right now, he'd be happy with this. If he could come out of tonight with this run that he's having, the way he's been on the dirt, 8th place, pretty nice, and he's challenging Jackson and Monahan right now.
He's done a great job in this feature event. Larry Jackson had to bite the brakes to avoid contact. Stuart Friesen, you can see him, he's making aggressive moves out there in the 19 machine. He is on the charge, and we are under yellow.
Yeah, there's debris up in corner 3. They went through that debris. The leaders did last time by. Some damage hanging off the back of the 19 as well of Stuart Friesen. There's that piece sitting up in corner number 3. Another piece of
that
body
corner.
work.
That corner where David Hebert drove down the inside into 1 and 2. He slid up into 3 cars. It took 3 cars to keep him on the racetrack, and he drove down the backstretch in the top 5. Glenn Stiers, the owner of this here facility, it is his turn to get the free pass. And who knows what he can do. He's got great car control.
He's had some speed tonight, but got mired early on. If you'll remember, he I can't remember who it was that in front of him.
31.
Was it 31?
I think it was Bois.
Bois. He came to a stop as not to hit him, but then the caution flag never came out and it put him a lap down very early. Not really. He was just trying to do the right thing there and couldn't get it gathered back up and going before the leader went by. So Glenn Stiers finally works back.
And there's a look earlier on. Bois spun around, and Stiers did the right thing. He came to a stop to avoid that, but we didn't go yellow.
Yeah.
So by the time he got going, he was just ahead of the race leader. He went a lap down, and that's where he has sat this entire race until now. Looks like a little bit of debris down there in 3 and 4. They're going to send a safety truck down there to collect that. I mean, you can't say these races have not been entertaining.
No, it was the same last year. A lot of different storylines, drivers to watch, comers and goers. Now, granted, Trayton Lapsevich has kind of stunk it up at the front for the last 2 races, but he didn't win Monday. And at this point, he was leading. So you don't know how this is going to end.
No, you sure don't. Not until it's over. And that's been the MO for this series since the beginning. Now, there's been dominant drivers over the course of the years, whether it was Donnie Thompson Jr. or Scott Steckley, or on road courses, Kevin Lacroix. But you never know what's going to happen. Different circumstances jump up at these drivers as the races go on. Black flag being displayed to the 19 of Stuart Friesen.
Yeah, he's got that piece dragging on the back of the car, and I watched him. I think he was moving that car around hoping it would just break off, but it never did. Well, now parts of it come off and the high side it too.
heck's holding that on? They'll head back into the pits. Of course, Stuart Friesen finished second tonight earlier on in a 360 sprint car race that paid $10,000 to win. This race here paying $25,000 to win, as we got some great looks there at the crew trying to, there we go, Sawzall.
No messing around.
Chunk of the body gets removed from the 19. He should be able to return to the racetrack. So pit road is just off behind the backstretch stand.
You just want that piece to fall off, because now it's cost him all that track position. He'd already lost it in that skirmish where he got tied up there coming out of corner number 2, and now he's going to have to go all the way back to the end of the lead line.
Well, I'll tell you what, fans, if you want to be entertained, keep your eye on that 19 machine working his way through the field. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time to get there, but you can bet he's going to take some swings at it up front. Trayton Lapsevich going to have to execute another perfect restart. Kevin Lacroix, we talked about him. That driver pitted earlier on. He is up in the top 4 in the 74.
Another note on Stuart Friesen. He's not running for points, and he doesn't need this car tomorrow.
Oh, dear. Glenn Stiers closes into the back of the field, but up front is Trayton Lapsevich on the outside in the 20. Kyle Steckley down low in the 22. 61 laps complete. 39 laps to go here at Ohsweken.
Steckley dives right down to the bottom in corner number 1. Draws up alongside Lapsevich. He'll have the advantage off of corner number 2, though. And now he'll tuck back in line behind his teammate.
Steckley trying different maneuvers. They haven't worked yet, but he's learning. David Hebert with a big run into turn number 3. He's on the inside battling for the 4th spot with Kevin Lacroix. Trevor Monahan in that GSR number 4 doing a great job out there. He has slowly and methodically worked his way through the field as Stuart Friesen has a problem. I think we may have seen the last of the 19.
3 wide, mid-pack right now as they come off of corner number 4. Everyone stays clean and green. And I'll tell you what, coming into this week, one of the drivers I was most interested in watching was David Hebert in that 0-1. And he's been worth the price of admission. We've probably talked about him the most with all the moves he's made out there.
It's been impressive to watch. He's just wedged between DJ Kennington and the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. Lacroix pushing him down the front straightaway. Trevor Monahan in that black number 4 right behind them. David Hebert to the inside of DJ Kennington. Kevin Lacroix looked like he was trying to get to the outside, and Hebert closed the door.
Good racing from 3rd on back right now. DJ Kennington not able to keep pace with those top 2. The 20 and the 22. They're all stacked up behind the 17. Hebert is right there. Lacroix, and then you've got Monahan side by side with Ranger. Here comes Dumoulin down to the inside, and we've got 2 around. Glenn and Aaron go around.
Glenn Stiers and Aaron Turkey getting mixed up in turn 2. That will draw the yellow flag. Two drivers that race on the same team here at Ohsweken Speedway on a regular basis in the sprint cars. They're racing on different teams here tonight.
And Trevor Monahan's having an excellent evening. He's been right there.
I'll bet if you look, you can see the smile on his face.
Say he's got to be pretty happy with this.
This is his kind of a drive. Elbows up, do what you have to do. And I mean, here's a driver, he's been on the pit crew a lot this year for Glenn Stiers. And he's had a long time relationship with Rob McConnell. He's driven for him a few times in the series, but really giving that 4 machine a good run. I'd be curious to know, what is that race car? Like, what did it used to be? Because I have a feeling they're pulling cars out of the mothballs, maybe. Putting some fresh stickers on them.
Well, right now at this point it looks like a 2-horse race, but far from over just yet.
Anytime there's two cars that close together that could run the risk of making contact, it opens the door to everybody behind. David Hebert has just been a highlight reel.
Oh, he has. They continue to do wholesale changes on Cameron's 96 pit side.
He's getting his money's worth out of these pit stops.
They're still finding some debris over in corner number 3. They're going to grab that as Cameron makes his way back out.
34 laps remain here. Thankfully, we haven't had a lot of wrecks. We've had some skirmishes. Brandon Watson, yeah, he took some damage, but by and large, it's been a lot of spins. You know, some people I've heard say, you know, leave the track tacky, leave some bite in it, make it a heavy track. When you have a heavy racetrack, cars don't slide. So when they make contact, the accidents are worse. This racing surface, I don't know that you could ask for anything more. From Glenn Steyer, Zigger Van Tile, who oversees the track prep.
1 to go at the line. They get the call over the radio. Lapsevich again to the outside with Steckley down on the inside. Last time on the restart, Steckley really threw it in hard down way low on the bottom. You almost feel like these two cars are pretty evenly matched, but it's just that experience, that thing called experience.
And that lends itself to DJ Kennington running in third.
Yeah. David Hebert on the outside there in that 4th spot. As they come back to this restart zone. And Green goes back up in the air. We'll try it again.
Just got a note saying the 4, Trevor Monahan, is a DJ Kennington car. Kennington being overtaken there by Andrew Ranger. David Hebert. Boy, if Andrew Ranger can get front with anything that resembles a race car, he'll be dangerous.
Yes, he will. He's starting to flex a little muscle here. Oh, Hebert, hold on to it off of 2 there. Look at Dumoulin up in there.
Bobby Dumoulin, a former series champion. He'll figure it out sooner or later. 5 wide through turn number 4. They came in like a wrecking ball. We've gone full Miley Cyrus here at Ohsweken Speedway.
I pictured you on the wrecking ball.
I'm glad. Mission accomplished.
Lapsevich, Steckley 1 and 2. Breathing room there for Andrew Ranger in the 3rd spot. Boy, DJ Kennington's starting to fall into the clutches of the back.
A little bit in that super clean 17. Remember the other night we watched this happen to Dave Bailey in the 36. We couldn't figure out. He just kept going backwards and was inexplicable. Hopefully that's not happening to DJ Kennington out there. As Trevor Monahan and David Hebert rub it up in turn number 3. Larry Jackson in the 84 to the outside.
Steckley's keeping Lapsevich in the same area code this time on this restart. He's right there within a couple of car lengths, running maybe just about a half a line lower than the 20 machine is.
I'd like to say he's sizing him up. Lapsevich has just been so strong. There is no sign that anyone can touch him.
Oh, Gannett got sideways. Bois checked up, goes up the banking. He'll lose all those spots. Dave Bailey has been where the Hornets' nest has been all night long. He's in the thick of it again with Tagliani. Gannett as well in the 3.
Looking for room to the inside of Alex Tagliani. Tag drives it deep into 1 and 2, slides up the racetrack. Contact between Aaron Turkey and Alice Gannett, and now Thomas Neva has the back bumper cover hanging off that 24 machine. That'll draw the attention of the officials, no doubt.
And it's flapping in the wind pretty good now. It's right out there up against the 18 as we got Bois around left rear is down on that 31 car.
Yellow flag comes out. So good news, bad news for Thomas Neva. He is most likely going to have to come in and get that bumper cover dealt with. But the good news is he'll still be on the lead lap. The bad news is he'll be all the way at the back of the pack. Daniel Bois drives that 31 off into the pits. Larry Jackson in the 84 contesting that spot with the 1 of J.P. Bergeron. So Andrew Ranger going to be able to restart. Let's have a look at this replay.
Hard to tell right there what happened.
Whatever cut that tire down. Yeah. The car spun out pretty quick there for Daniel Bois. Malcolm Strawn does a nice job to avoid making contact.
I think Andrew Ranger might be the wild card. This top duo might need to break them up.
Well, and he'll rattle their cage. You know, if anyone can drive in there and do something aggressive, it'll be Andrew Ranger behind the wheel of that 27. I can hear the scorers and the officials busy over in the next room getting the running order sorted out. The 17 to DJ Kennington put ahead of the 0-1 of David Hebert. Looks like the 1 of J.P. Bergeron going to be placed ahead of the 84 of Larry Jackson. And I think everybody on the track is on the lead lap now. Wallace Stacy, Stuart Friesen, and Brandon Watson, the 3 cars that are not on the lead lap, and they are not out on the racetrack, Greg. They drive lower and lower on the track trying to find grip. They're going to wind up in the pond in the infield soon.
Glenn's going everywhere to find it. Low on the backstretch, high up in 3 and 4. So Cameron Neveu come back out of the pit area.
DJ Kennington in the pits getting a fresh general tire on that car. Bois, they've made the change of that left rear and come back out on the racetrack. Looking at the right side of Malcolm Strawn's car, those tires are completely white wall. So he is clearly rubbed against the outside wall, but he's done it square. Both ends the same.
There's DJ back out. He plummeted there on that last restart. .27 to go here in the Pinty's 100.
Kevin Lacroix, that car still looks pristine. There's a couple of marks on it, but compared to everything else in the field, that thing's a showpiece. Kevin Lacroix, DJ Kennington, Daniel Bois' car still looks pretty clean, so hats off to them. Of course, at the front, Kyle Steckley in the 22, the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. We'll bring them back to the green once again. Trayton Lapsevich on the high side, and that number 20, Kyle Steckley, down low in the 22. Does there come a point where Steckley really pushes it?
He sounded like he would this afternoon when we talked to him. He said, "I'm here to win." Let's see what he does. He'll dive bomb it down into the inside, down in corner number 1, looking for something down there. Lapsevich, though, every time off of corner number 2 in those restarts, just pulls away.
I've got to think Steckley got a little bit more sideways than he would have liked there in 1 and 2, but he was able to control the car coming off. Andrew Ranger right in line, running in the 3rd spot behind them. It is chaos. Contact between Dexter Stacy and Alex Tagliani.
4 wide they go through 1 and 2. They're back just past the midpoint of the pack.
Oof. Stacy slides up and Tagliani into the wall again on the backstretch.
Oh boy, boy, they're still beating and banging back there, and DJ Kennington's right in the thick of this. He's down on the bottom trying to get away.
They're trying to wreck. Lapsevich out in front by about 3 car lengths over Kyle Steckley, but the battles are much deeper in the field. 2 wide, 3 wide through the turns.
Oh, man, every time off a corner 4. You think Tagliani's going to completely get stuffed in the wall.
Yeah, he's struggling out there. Thankfully, there's 20 other cars to keep him pointed in the straight line, and walls on the outside. The top 2 have pulled away by nearly half a straightaway over Andrew Ranger. Ranger all by himself in the 3rd spot. JP Bergeron, who had slid back quite a ways in that number 1, he's fighting back towards the front of the field.
Yeah, he had to go pit side at one point. He's back up there fighting his way through the field. He's had a couple of good days here at Ohsweken Speedway. At the front, Kyle Steckley, we see him right now on screen. He's logged a lot of laps now behind Trayton Lapsevich, and there's a lot I'm sure he can learn, and I'm sure as we got one going around Naveau over in corner number 2. But Steckley, you got to feel like he knows these cars. He works on these cars, and even though he might not have anything for Trayton, he's probably thinking, okay, if I get this chance again, this is what this car needs. This is what I need to do. This is school right now for Kyle Steckley.
100%. He's a student of the game for sure, as JP Bergeron just made a move on LP Dublin.
Monahan.
Trevor Monahan goes around in turn 4, keeps that car running. We'll stay under green with 20 laps to go.
Naveau right in front of the leader, Trayton Lapsevich, who begins to pull away from Kyle Steckley. Andrew Ranger really never had anything for the top 2 on that restart. He sits back in the 3rd spot, kind of in that spot DJ Kennington ran for much of the race, and kind of an island, and DJ's worked his way back up.
How was he that close to the front again? DJ Kennington, that super clean 17.
He got away from where all that nonsense was going on in a hurry, and now he's marched his way back up towards the top 10.
And he's actually making passes on the inside groove, and that's hard to do. He gets around Larry Jackson. Now he's going to close in on the excitement duo here. David Hebert in the 01, the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. Look at DJ's going to turn it down the banking and try to pass them both at once.
Yeah, that super clean Dodge is rolling right now as he moves down to the inside of Hebert and Lacroix as he's working towards the top 5.
Oh boy, Turkey goes around, slides down in front of the groove, parked sideways in turn number 2. Just ahead of the race leader. Oh! Trayton Lapsevich to the outside. Here goes Kyle Steckley for the lead. For the 2nd time this week, Trayton Lapsevich falls victim to a situation that had nothing to do with him.
We wondered if that's what it was going to take. Now Steckley's out in front. He's got Naveau, the lap car, in front of him with 15 laps left to go. Now Trayton's got to play catch-up. Does this rattle him at all?
I'm sure it angers the driver of the number 20, Trayton Lapsevich, as Kyle Steckley trying to size up Thomas Naveau on the inside. Lapsevich will swing to the outside to retake the lead. Steckley going to keep his car to the inside of that 20. Now Lapsevich with a good run down the backstretch. He'll drive to the inside of Naveau. Where's Steckley going to go here?
Here they come off of 4 another time. It'll be 13 laps left to go, this time by the flag stand, trying to get by Thomas Naveau. Lapsevich to his inside, but Steckley's right there. Boy, precarious spot right now for the guy that's dominated this race.
Trayton Lapsevich trying to clear Thomas Naveau in the 24, not able to do it. Steckley going to take advantage and turn down the racetrack, try to get a run through 4, not going to do it. Lapsevich gets around that 24 machine. Steckley back to the 2nd spot.
Naveau right there on the back bumper of Lapsevich, and now Trayton will begin to pull away, but they've got some heavy traffic coming up in front. Steckley rolling the bottom. He's keeping pace with the 20.
Doing a great job out there. Man, oh man, Trayton Lapsevich has to be wondering what on earth is going on this week. The misfortune he has found out there on the racetrack when things seem to be going entirely his way.
Here he comes into the thick of this pack. Trevor Monahan will be the first car that Lapcevich approaches, and Monahan's had a good car all night. So right now, still a lot of speed throughout the field. It's not going to be easy for the 20.
Not at all. 10 laps remain, as you mentioned, and Trayton Lapcevich is closing in on some cars that do not want to go a lap down, so they're going to make his life difficult out there. Glenn's tires in the 0 car, marks all over that race car as he's passed a bunch of race cars out here since getting back on the lead lap.
Lapcevich right there on the 4. He'll work to the outside of that machine down the back stretch and into corner number 3. Steckley still caught behind Neveu, so he's lost all sorts of ground to the race leader. As now just 8 laps left to go for Trayton Lapcevich. Can he seal the deal tonight after the problems Monday and go back-to-back in the Pinty's 100?
Well, this is the hornet's nest for Trayton Lapcevich. He works to the outside of Dave Bailey, right behind Malcolm Strawn in the 98. Kyle Steckley has finally cleared the 24 of Thomas Neveu, but laps continue to wind down. There's 7 remaining.
Steckley finally clear of the Neveu machine, but he's got plenty of work now to catch up to Trayton Lapcevich. But boy, oh boy, it's dicey right in front of the leader.
Racing side by side right in front of Trayton Lapcevich. Malcolm Strawn in the red 98. Alex Tagliani in the 18. Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96.
Now the benefit here for Trayton Lapcevich, this isn't like a typical Friday night race where you don't know where the second place driver is. Trayton's got his spotter in his ear telling him, you know, you don't have to press it just yet. Kyle's a couple of cars back, but now he gets by Tagliani and we'll work on Strawn.
Dave Bailey going to pull down to try to make a move on Alex Tagliani. Just about crosses up the 20 of Trayton Lapcevich as Lapcevich had slowed in the middle of the turn. Trayton cautiously working his way through this traffic, but not able to clear these cars very quickly.
4 laps left to go for Trayton Lapcevich as he crosses the line. Steckley's still there within striking distance. If anything goes wrong, he's ready to pounce, but Steckley's got to get through some of this with Dave Bailey and Alex Tagliani. There's been a lot of action around those cars tonight.
They've got a full straightaway back to Andrew Ranger running in the 3rd spot. This comes down to a pair of teammates, Trayton Lapcevich and Kyle Steckley. Lapcevich having fits trying to get around the 98 of Malcolm Strawn. Nothing doing yet. Kyle Steckley is closing in that 22. It'll be 2 laps to go this time.
Strawn to the inside of the 20. Steckley's closed the gap. He is there. He can see the leader. He's right in his tire tracks. To the outside of Cameron goes Lapcevich.
Marc-Antoine Cameron showed a lot of respect to the race leader, gave him room to get through. Kyle Steckley is right there, but he's got 2 cars between himself and the race lead.
Through 3 and 4 another time. This time by it'll be the white flag for Trayton Lapcevich. One more trip. Can he finally seal the deal after a rough night on Monday? He'll head down into corner number 1 for the final time. Off of corner 2, set sail down the backstretch.
Down the back straightaway one final time in the Pinty's 100. The checkered flag and the $25,000 top prize that go with it. To Trayton Lapcevich, driver the number 20. Kyle Steckley going to come home in the 2nd spot. Bringing it home 3rd after a valiant run is Andrew Ranger in the 27. Great job by J.P. Bergeron to finish 4th. And how about DJ Kennington driving that 17 back to a top 5 finish after a late race pit stop for tire.
And that plays back to a question we had earlier on in the night. How far back do you go before you make a pit stop? DJ Kennington just showed you can hustle in a short amount of time through this field.
He's a gifted driver. Kyle Steckley will pull on into the 2nd place position in victory lane. The 20 of Trayton Lapcevich.
And you got to think for Kyle Steckley. Yes, he wants to win this race, obviously. But this has got to be pretty good. Like, you come away with this with all positives if you're Kyle Steckley.
I think he'll be a pretty happy race car driver. Trayton Lapsevich stops down there at the start-finish line. Possibly waiting for a checkered flag to take his victory lap. Mike Charret on his way down with that flag now. Andrew Ranger in the 27 making his way around to the concrete to celebrate a top 3 finish. And Trayton Lapsevich drives away victorious in that GSR number 20.
Almost lost it because of a lap car yet again here tonight. Had the problems on Monday that cost him the win, but he would not be denied tonight. Gets back by Kyle Steckley in the closing laps. Seals the deal.
The 200th race in the history of the NASCAR Pinty Series. Trayton Lapsevich, the victor. And Trayton Lapsevich has tied a single season record for the most podium finishes in one year with 8, and there is still a lot of season left to go. Clinton Jeffrey is down on the scene, although it may be Todd Lewis to capture this moment in victory lane.
The youngster from Grimsby continues to put together an incredible season in the NASCAR Pinty Series. Call it win number 6. He gets congratulations from his girlfriend Faith. He is congratulating his entire team. A big high five for his dad and crew chief Jeff Lapsevich. It is an unbelievable drive and an unbelievable season for Trayton Lapsevich. It's now 6. It's now 6 victories on the year for Trayton Lapsevich. You had an incredible car. You just carved your way through that field all night long.
I can't say enough about these 22 racing guys. I mean, I feel like we had one get away from us on Monday, and to come back here today and just have an amazing car. And you know, we lost lead momentarily there, but kept our heads down, able to get it back. So just a huge shout out to the whole GSR FBM Delta Bingo number 20 team.
Great win for Trayton Lapsevich, his second on the dirt, 6th of the season.
A 6-win season is something spectacular. We're going to get in there and talk to our second and third place finishers. I imagine all 3 will be fairly thrilled with their result here tonight. Andrew Ranger, it's about time. He's overcome a lot this year. So to take home that 3rd place finish, he's down there getting congratulations.
Kyle, you were the crew chief for this car a couple of nights ago. You get to drive it tonight. What an incredible run you had.
Yeah, that was awesome. You know, we slowly were learning the whole day, and then we unfortunately broke apart at the end of the heat there, and we had to start from the back, and coming from the back was a blast. I'm just so thankful for all these 22 racing cars. All the guys, they bring awesome cars to the track every week, and it shows. So not quite what Kenny got on Monday, but we'll be happy with the 2nd place, and so thankful for APC Auto Parts and everyone who lets me come out and do this, and hope I can be back soon.
Awesome run for Kyle Steckley in the 22.
An impressive display of car control throughout those 100 laps, and the same can be said for the third place finisher. He was deep in the hornet's nest throughout the night. And for those watching on the stream, that's going to do it from here at Ohsweken Speedway. We thank you for tuning in. Have yourselves a great night.